I haven't done like a cooking live streamy thing for a bit. I want a better angle though. I always want a better angle, right? So we're gonna do a cooking live stream, but I still want a better angle. I don't like this angle. Let's see. We're gonna do a cooking live stream, and I'm gonna get the apples out that I have because we are gonna make an apple pie. That's my thought, anyway. I'm trying to make an apple pie. I have lots and lots of apples, and I haven't made one in a while. But the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some apples for the pie. I'm going to cut some apples up for my pie. The first step. But first, I might make some coffee because I want coffee, okay? Coffee keeps me entertained as I cut up apples for my pie. Okay, I'm going to heat up some coffee. Favorite way to heat up coffee is the microwave because it's so easy, and I've done it all my life. That's, well, for a long time anyway, this way. So I want a bowl to put my apples in. I need a nice big bowl. Wash my hands, get them somewhat cleansed so they're nice and clean before I start cutting apples, washing apples, cutting apples, all that good stuff. Okay. Dry my hands off. Dry, dry, dry. Okay, so let's rinse and cut. Edison's been going bonks, so I decided to turn off the hallway light because Southern California Edison, they're just so expensive. I'm just like, too expensive. I'm like, I am not paying for like on a hallway. When I make apple pie, I like the pieces to be tiny, and yes, I keep the skins on. I don't care how other people do it. I make apple pie to my own likeness and specifications. Like, I still always have fruit in it, apple, but I don't boil. Like, some people boil the filling before they bake it, so it's still baked, don't get me wrong, but I feel like maybe it's more semi-baked than what other people do. Like, it's not raw, so I definitely bake my apples, but I like the homegrown organic apples to have just a little bit of, they're not going to be raw, but they're not as cooked down as people who will boil their apples, so to speak. I don't do that. So the first part is the arduous journey of cutting up the apples, which to me, that's fun. Apples last a really long time in the fridge, by the way. Because when you have apples at the grocery store, they last forever. Like, you could have apples that are a year old. So I still eat my apples. I'm not going to throw them away. If there's bad parts, I just cut out the bad parts. That's how I do it. Like the feeling of apple just going up my skin. You know, like skin, but plain milk. Coffee, my favorite Christmas tree mug. And I got this new kind of coconut milk from Costco. It's the real cocoa organic coconut milk. I'm going to clean part of my fridge. That's what I want to do. Anytime I see something I want to clean, I just clean it. Okay, so let's wash off another apple. Probably gonna take the skin off the one. Chopping my apples. So I kind of alternate between apple types that I cut. By the way, apples are kind of round, so they'll start rolling. You know the one thing I love about the double braid hair, the double braided hairstyle that I created. I mean, they're so easy and versatile, but you can keep it like you can sleep with your hair in double braids, and it stays like relatively pretty good. You know, I like that. I like styles that kind of stay in, because I love a hairstyle that you can do like a low manipulation hairstyle where, yeah, you might be manipulating your hair to get into that style, but I just, to me, I know this is apple pie, but I have a lot of passion for long hair growth, and just for me, I feel like the long hair styles that will last the longest are ones that you're not constantly having to redo. So if like you're leaving the house with your hair loose and people are like, oh, I'm always going to need to put my hair in a scrunchie, or and then they're getting annoyed and they're saying their long hair problem is their hair like gets caught on things. I never had that problem. Well, when I was younger, I did. I remember, because when I was very young, like when I was 11, I remember we used to go on this hike up in the San Bernardino Mountains on New Year's Day, and we called it the Pinnacles hike. We would hike. So they're basically these rocks that look like spires. Okay. Like big giant boulders. And I used to wear my hair loose as a kid, and I just remember one time my hair got caught on everything. So I'm just really into, like, if you put your hair in a braid or a bun, but one that's like so secure where you don't want to brush it, or you don't need to brush it for 12 to 14 hours, or a one and done hairstyle. Like, I'm all about the one and done daily hairstyle, so you're manipulating your hair less. And I feel like for me, that has been the thing that was for hair growth. And I know some people, like on my hair channel, they're always like, wow, you spend a lot of time like detangling your hair after you wash it and brush it. But the thing is, I definitely do, but I don't think it's all that different than the amount of time like most people spend on like blow drying or other types of styling. Well, when it was super long, I probably did spend more time. However, I will say the thing that probably helped me to cut down on it a bit, like, I still spend time detangling, but I think using the wet brush and the unbrush, and I'm kind of team unbrush a little bit more right now, just because I think the unbrush is a better brush. Like, I just do in general, like, I think it's better for detangling. But the wet brush is good too, because it is very gentle. But the thing I like about the unbrush is it just gives you more flexibility. Like, I still say you should try to brush your hair from the top to the bottom. But if you have like wavy or curly or coily hair, like, even if you start at the bottom, you're gonna have like little knots, so your hair just like curls and winds up into itself because that's your natural texture. And there's even people with straight hair where hair becomes a bit more like harder to detangle, and I think people with super straight hair, they just think it's so easy, or they just don't care and they rip a hairbrush through their hair. But I don't like that. But basically, I think maybe it's just me, maybe I don't like that. Like, I just hate the whole rip a hairbrush through your hair thing. But then again, the people that believed in, like, back before the Victorian times, when people did 100 brush strokes a day, I mean, I don't know. They did 100 brush strokes a day, and that's going to take a little bit of time, especially if you do it on all parts of your head. So I never really counted it. I don't do 100 brush strokes a day. I think, yeah, maybe that's outdated thought, but maybe the thought through it is maybe people in pre-Victorian times, or just in modern culture times, where they take their time to comb out their hair very gently and thoroughly, and then put it in a protective style. Maybe they just know something about hair care that modern people don't really know. But I also have come to the determination that a lot of people just don't have like a spiritual connection with long hair. To me, like, it's part of your body. You should want to take good care of it. Some people are like, it's just hair. Like, if you want to shave your head, whatever, that's fine. But I just feel kind of, and I have nothing against like people that want to express themselves through their hair. Like, if you want to bleach your hair and dye it many colors, that's fine. But to me, it just feels a little triggering, and that's why I don't do like tattoos or things like that. I just believe in more like natural stuff, and it's not popular. It's just not popular to say that. And you can do whatever you want, but that's why I don't have tattoos, and that's why I'm gentle with my hair, because I just believe in my nails too. Like, look, I don't have any problems with people getting long nails. That's fine. Whatever. My sister, she loves acrylic nails, but maybe I'm just too much like my mom. Like, one day, I think my other sister that likes long nails, like, she said something to me. She's like, I guess they play music when people are gone. I didn't notice, because I'm not usually here this Monday. I'm like, oh, you guys are having a party. Okay, so anyhows, I don't like acrylic nails. I'm just not into, like, I've polished my nails occasionally, and I will do it again. I'm not saying I never do that, but I really just appreciate and enjoy, beyond henna, which is a natural plant, I just enjoy doing things in a more natural state, like, and that's how my mom is, so that's just kind of how I am. Like, I'm more into like just natural lifestyle. Plus, I don't think bleach is really that good for you, and it is damaging for your hair. And I don't understand, like, the purpose of putting bleach on your hair. To me, I don't know. I know people really, they love putting bleach on their hair to get different hairstyles, but I'm just very much about natural hair care. And to me, it's very important to just be like gentle with your hair. And I don't even clean my house with bleach. Like, why would I want to put that on my head? Like, it just seems, I don't know, bad. And also, chemical hair dyes, they smell bad. But if you really want to dye your hair, henna's natural. I'm just into natural things. Look, I know there's some synthetic and chemical things in our modern world, but people complain about, like, oh, like, they're having issues with their scalp and hair. And I can't help but think, could it be because of all these chemical processes we do to our hair? And that's one reason I don't go and see a hairstylist, because, yeah, I've been doing my own hair for like forever. I'm not into chemical hair. You know what's cool in India, though? In India, they actually have hairstylists that do like henna. And I think that would be cool to go to, like, not, because I know a lot of people have told me about, like, I guess like the George Michael hair salons in the US, which don't, or whatever, people that use his techniques. I'm not interested in that. Plus, I heard he was kind of anti-henna, so that means to me it was like a white people salon, like geared to white hair textures, and didn't really know about other cultural practices, which, as a hybrid person, who's going to know about that? Like, when you're a hybrid person, you're part Middle Eastern, part, like, white, who's going to know, like, that you have a side to you with a certain hair texture? And there are white people, too, by the way, that have wavy hair, curly hair. They could benefit from a hairstylist or a hair salon that knows just about natural hair care practices. I don't know. I just think about this. So, I don't mind watching hair videos. I love watching hair tutorials. I kind of, the whole putting bleach on your head just feels very damaging to me. I don't even like to clean my house with bleach. So, those are just my thoughts on bleach, you know. A lot of people have different opinions, so that's that. That's why I don't bleach my hair. And I think if you want to do something with your hair, like, you can do henna. And I don't understand, like, why would you bleach over henna? Because henna, like, is better than, like, bond builder. Like, it actually adds strength to your hair. And I'm not saying that you can't, like, that you can't be allergic to henna, because you can be. And another thing about henna is you don't want to mix it with conditioner, in my opinion. I think it should only be mixed with natural ingredients, because I did try it once with conditioner and that gave me a horrible tangle. But if you mix it with water or like milk or coconut milk or oil, it should be fine. Yeah, I love natural things. I really do. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm really into natural like stuff. And I love it. And I clean my house with vinegar, which I know once again people are gonna be like chemical processes and no, but I still think you have to be more mindful of what you're doing with your body. And I do feel like in general that has done me a world of good. Like it's helped me a lot. But these are just my thoughts on hair care as I make an apple pie. Apple. Apple wapplers. Apply wapplies. Apple wapples. This is why I don't use an apple corer, because I just feel like if you go with your knife and you cut, you can get more fruit off your apple, in my opinion. But you know, everybody has different ideas on how they like to do stuff. So those are just my theories on making apple pie. Gonna have a yummy apple pie night with a cup of coffee. Sounds delicious. And I don't put like butter in my apple mixture. They're gonna be apple, sugar, like lemon, cinnamon. That's how I do it. And then getting some of the apple wapples off my fingers. Like, see, I leave my homegrown apples in the fridge because there was a bumper crop of them that my mom gave me, and they last a long time. And I have been meaning to make apple pie sooner, but just a lot of things keep getting in the way right now. Life, I guess, right? I don't know. Just life. Life gets in the way sometimes. Can see me better. I feel like I could do a better angle for you guys. I think I'm going to have a comment filter on TikTok. Just because I got this weird notification. More viral, I guess, than I would say my average TikTok video does, and it got a lot more views. So I deleted the bad comments because I will not have that kind of social media platform anywhere. Like, I just want things that are more positive. Like, I'm not gonna post, like, you want to post your weird things, and then I still think, like, commentary, whatever you want to post on your channel, that's great, but you go to somebody's channel and you start leaving, like, really weird comments, like, and it bothers me too that there's people that have kids that obviously I just went and deleted a whole bunch of comments off this video I made. I don't even think a child under 14 should have a phone. You should get them a little Cricket phone that they can just call their parents with. And unless these are adults pretending to be kids, they left some really gross comments on my video, and like middle school kids. I do imagine, like, yeah, middle school kids would leave comments like that, but only if their parents let them have a phone. I'm like, that's a parental problem. So you're supposed to be over 13 to be on YouTube anyway. I would think TikTok, yes. I would say I don't even think people over 16, under 16 should be on these platforms, really. You should be doing your homework. You should be doing your schoolwork. And if you're using a computer, you should be using it. Because I have a thing about this. I think young people are not in a place where that they can think properly about, like, do they want to post certain content later, they might regret it. And the comments are problematic unless these are just people, I don't know. And I got a notification, and I don't usually look at it when I'm doing a stream, but I just deleted it because I'm like, that's kind of scary. So I deleted all those comments, and yeah, I guess some people just can't control themselves. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fun. They're just unsupervised on the internet, which, that's not my problem. But if you can't supervise your children, I'm going to delete their comments. Like, I mean, if those were adults leaving comments like that, kind of scary for them. Like, they were saying things like calling me a slut or something. It was weird. And it just looked like some kids, like teenagers maybe. I don't know. But I'm like, this is just a video on my TikTok. It's a hair video. And I'm not there to make these, like, children happy, these adults happy. Like, no. It's gross. That is disgusting. I just, So I deleted those comments. I'm like, if you're on social media and you're getting weird comments, delete and filter like nobody's business. Like, delete, filter, block. Like, I do it. I do it without compunction because I'm like, this is weird. Like, nobody wants comments like that on their videos. Well, maybe some people do, but I don't personally. I'm like, ugh, weird. Maybe they're just adults with weird accounts. I don't know, but that was pretty weird. It didn't even, and then the way that they were written, I started thinking, are these even, I don't know. But I just deleted all that just right now, so I had to stop because I was getting a whole bunch of notifications as I'm streaming. I thought about setting up my webcam to stream again too. But that's actually more work to do that. Because then I have to move the computer and bring it in here. This is a little bit easier. lemon seed out. Ah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna use a fork to kind of mix them up because, well, yeah, I need to mix them up. I should have washed a spoon, but yeah, I'd have to stop and wash a spoon, so I'm gonna use what I have right now, which is a nice fork, which actually kind of separates the cut up apples a bit more. Thanks. Did you delete a lot of your comments? Because this time I didn't delete anything here. And a whole bunch of comments. Maybe that person did. I don't know. Who knows? But thank you. Lemon juice really brings out the flavor, by the way, after it's baked. I'm not afraid of putting lemon juice in apple pie. Not at all. Apple core. Why? You can just take your hand like Liz and cut. Like, you know, this apple has a few bad parts in the core. Anyhow, like near the core, like usually I can cut down a little bit more, but I don't want to. These 4 apples, this might make more than an apple pie would actually. It might be more than 1 apple pie, but then I'll use up whatever I have. Either make another apple pie later or some oatmeal or something. So I'm cutting up, like I started with, sorry, I didn't count them. I just grabbed them out of the fridge and I went to cutting town. So 3 or 4, but they are smaller apples. Like these are the little baby apples off my mom's tree. They're not like the standard size like apple that you buy at the grocery store. Like they're miniature apple and they actually taste like the flavor is so amazing. Because I just feel like store-bought apples are devoid of flavor. Just like when you buy, I don't know, almost every piece of fruit that I've ever had from the store, it just never is flavorful. Like, if you grow strawberries, well, my mom did. I've never grown them personally, but she used to grow strawberries. They were just so amazing. Like, they're very tiny. And we had a bit of a problem because our neighbors and a mouse, I think, or a squirrel came along and ate them. It might be a little bit of both. I don't know. And it didn't make that many. Like, it was a big strawberry plant, like vine. They take over. They're invasive, by the way. Because I think she had planted some flowers there too, and she thought, oh, this little strawberry vine, but it just took over the whole, like, whole bed. My mom loves the garden, she really does. But yeah, so she realized, oh, this is gonna become like a but the vine, it's pretty robust, and it like comes back. It through seeds, it just kind of repropagates itself every year. She also had, like, my mom, I don't know, she just loves the garden. Like, she had pumpkin vines in her backyard, and then she has a garden. She just always has, like, and, like, I even in my fridge, like, she gave me this thing of fresh peppers back in December, and I thought, well, I'm not going to eat them all that fast, so I put them in the fridge instead of, like, drying them out. I know some people, like, they hang them up and they dry them out, but I just stuck the whole thing in the fridge, and they kind of dried out on their own, and they're a little bit, like, dried. They're like a cross between dry, fresh, but they're dried out. But I just have my own way of, like, I find if you put things in the fridge, like fruit and vegetables, they'll last a long time. But I do eat a very plant-based diet, so this is probably not for people that want to fill their fridge with steaks and stuff, you know. Don't eat meat. I'm plant-based. I would say technically I'm a vegan, but I'm not I'm not into the activism side of veganism, you know? Like, that does not represent who I am. And a lot of people who were like those more militant activist vegans, they go back to eating meat and they become carnivore. And these are people that used to kind of make rude comments like, okay, this is the thing that really annoyed me was there was this vegan food truck that used to come to our local market night. And I would think if somebody was eating plant-based, you would be happy for them to eat food. You don't want them to starve themselves. And there was this lady, she was kind of big, she was larger. All the, like, vegan people in that line, not all of them, but a few of them, I was kind of embarrassed. I love vegan, I do too. But I know you like meat, so that's good. I'm glad you like meat. But, okay. But the thing I didn't like about just the vegan food truck, Just Vegana, like, this family made this really authentic Mexican food, but they used vegan option. And there would be people that would make fun of people. Like, this one lady was very large, and they were saying that she shouldn't eat the food, but it was actually pretty healthy. Like, their options, I mean, if you got the desserts there, that wouldn't be healthy, but their jackfruit nachos were not bad. I would say they're pretty healthy. Like, it's plant-based. Like, compared to some of the other stuff at market night, it was pretty healthy. So it just kind of bothered me that the people in line would make comments about people and their weight. And those were, like, some of the same people that I saw that were, like, the vegan activist people. Like, their whole channel was about, like, looking aesthetic and looking, like, they would say, well, we're activists, but they also were the kind of vegans that, like, wanted to kind of flaunt their, I don't know, like, their body. Like, oh, like, we're real super skinny, and, like, we have lost more weight. And then if another vegan didn't fit into their category, they were kind of malicious about it. And I just, yeah, that was the thing I didn't like. So I'm a vegan just for myself, not because a group of people think that's better. Like, I'm not into, like, things that are really groupy, so to speak. I'm an introvert. If anybody watches my channel, they're going to see that this is a very introverted channel. Like, we just focus within ourselves, and that's really where I believe, like, being more self-focused and limiting your social circle. I believe that is what will bring real and true happiness, because the people that try to be too social and try to please everybody, they're just never really happy, and their stimulation comes from outside of themselves. And look, my dad, I wouldn't say he's exactly extroverted per se. Like, he is more introverted in some ways. Like, I do think now that he is older, he is. But I remember just like the way he was when we were younger. Like it just seemed like it was so important to him to always have people that would come over to the house so they could go hiking. And he was just really invested in being friends with lots of different people. And a lot of these people we never really like, because I'm like, they're just coming over because you give them food or something. And they're users. Like, we didn't like users. But my dad, his grandma was Syrian. So I feel like this is this hospitality thing. Not even extroverted thing, really. Like, he just thought that, oh, like he's being welcoming and friendly, but a little bit of the extroverted part too. You know, I think he just was so invested in like wanting to like get the approval of others, which to me is dangerous. It's so dangerous. Like if you predicate your life on seeking approval from other people, it's just not a healthy spot to be in, because people are fickle, people are self-serving. So I'm very, very limited. Yeah, this cat is my mom's cat, but I have like the drawings of it. If you look on my website, like I have a whole bunch of drawings. Like this cat right here, the Bobby cat, I painted that. This is a drawing. This is a photograph of my mom's cat, Annie the cat. And anyhow, I have a lot of artwork. If you ever look at my website, you can see all the art that I've created, although I need to get back into making more art. So yeah, I don't know, my dad was just always so into being very like sociable, extroverted, like wanting to get people to like hang out with him, do things, and we just weren't up for it all the time. Like we didn't always want, and we're not trying to sound unhospitable, it's just some of the people we could tell they were users, okay? And like when they moved on, like he didn't hear from them anymore. And I don't like people that are users. Like I have, my big antenna goes up. And I get very, very sensitive to this. And I'm just like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So I'm more of an introverted person. I like to spend a lot of my time either by myself or I hang out with my sister. And we're just like to the point where my sister, you know, she used to be a little bit more social like my dad, but she said she just realized like when she tried to help some of her friends or be a friend, like it wasn't appreciated. And her one friend still talks to her. But the thing that just really bothers me about this, well, it doesn't bother me per se, but I know my sister really had good intentions for her friend. Like she actually was helping to like watch her friend's children for a while, and then it seemed like she wasn't grateful about it, and she just, like my sister bought them food and let them stay at her house. Like my sister was very thoughtful like that. Probably the most generous person, really. And then this friend just kind of turned around and acted like she was having some difficulties in her life, or she couldn't watch her children right then, and it was for a couple of weeks, okay? And I don't know, this friend just didn't really seem very appreciative about it. And after that, like there's still friends, like I think on Facebook, but I don't know, my sister and I were just talking about how we enjoy like our own company, and there are other friends I have like from high school and college that I still talk to and I will occasionally get together with. But in general, like when it comes to doing things, I just like to do things, hi Miguel, like with my sister, because I know who she is as a person. Like and then her boyfriend, I like him too, and I have a few other friends that I occasionally do things with, but in general, I'm not making socializing my priority in life, because I don't know who really has time to do that. Like, I think things have just changed in the last, like, maybe some people have time to be really social. I don't know. Or it's just a priority. It's their priority. I just don't really enjoy the whole social scene. Like, I'm just not a social butterfly, man. I think this is enough apples for this bowl where it's going to overflow. I was going to cut more apples for that bowl, but I think that bowl... Well, thank you. I so appreciate that. And that's another thing, too. I've been meaning to, like, focus more on, like, building my content up again, because I know I've been in a little bit of a hiatus mode. And it's just because, like, yeah, I can still do content, but I've just been at a point, like a time in my life where I haven't been able to devote as much time to content creation as I was able to a few months ago. But I'm still going to try when I can to do a few of these cooking live streams, and I'll show the final result if I get too busy later in the day or something. But I do have lots of videos showing how I made the whole apple pie. I just thought it'd be cool to get on here. So I'm going to put more of the lemon in here. I decided to get the Food for Less turbinado sugar. I usually buy the organic one, and I